I'm live on YouTube. I only got one more, Facebook. I'm live on Facebook. Peace to Yahoo, peace to Yahoo. This your boy Jonah Bey. How y'all doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing wonderful, magnificent, and great. I know I am, and the whole nine. This is a show that's added on to the show I did Wednesday. And Wednesday, I was talking about how the 14th Amendment was never ratified. It couldn't be ratified because the Civil War. The South left the Union. They fought the Civil War to bring the South back into the Union. When they brought the South back into the Union, they only brought it back into the Union through force, military action. They kicked out the legislators of the South and put their own people in. That was a coup to the Republic government. So they reestablished the new government under the 14th Amendment, but the 14th Amendment wasn't passed yet. So they passed it real quick. So the first 14th Amendment became the state. And then the state made your birth certificates and gave you a social, which made y'all 14th Amendments. Right? All without your consent, by the way. For any business to do a contract, you have to consent to that personally. Your mama can't do it for you. So it's fraud, just like the 14th Amendment is fraud. I gave y'all Wednesday the congressional record, told you where to find it, of the 14th Amendment not being real. So now, tonight, I'm going to show you why they had to do all of that, because I'm now going to go into Pitchfork Bill Tillman. He was a senator. And he's going to tell you exactly why they did all of that. And they've been lying to you the whole time, you melanated Aboriginal people. So let me try to put this link up on Facebook and YouTube so people can know where to find the link that I'm going to show you. And this congressional record, by the way. You know, I like to show that proof, yo. You know how your boy Jonah Bey do. Okay, so now I'm put it into YouTube. This is an old lesson for me. I've been taught this, but I got to teach new people, and I got to make y'all all comprehend it and see how it all goes together, even with the money system. Right? All right, so I put it in to YouTube. I put it into Facebook. Let me put it in Blog Talk. Blog Talk gave me problems tonight. I had to get in Blog Talk a whole different way tonight because it wouldn't let me get in. Talking about it crashed. But when I use a different search engine, it had no problem going in. How convenient, right? Real convenient. All right, it's called Their Own Hot-Headedness. And I got it at a website called History Matters, the U.S. survey course on the web. This is to teach people, by the way. All right? It says, Their Own Hot-Headedness, Senator Benjamin R. Pitchfork Ben Tillman justifies violence against Southern blacks. In this March 20th, 1900 speech before the U.S. Senate, Senator Benjamin R. Pitchfork Ben Tillman of South Carolina defended the action of his white constituents who had murdered several black citizens of his home state. Tillman blamed the violence on the hot-headedness of the Southern blacks and on the misguided efforts of Republicans during Reconstruction era. Reconstruction is when they destroying our history, Aboriginal histories, and putting in fake history. That's Reconstruction. All right? Google the word Reconstruction. Lacks in misguided efforts of Republicans during the Reconstruction era after the Civil War put white necks under black heels. He also defended violence against black men, claiming that Southern whites will not submit to the black man gratifying his lust on our wives and daughters without lynching him. An evocation of deeply sexualized racist fantasies of many Southern whites. So now let me go on to what it's saying. And he, Senator John C. Spooner of Wisconsin, said, we had taken their rights away from them. He asked me, what is right to murder them in order to carry out elections? I never saw one murdered. I never saw one shot at an election. It was the riots before the elections, precipitated by their own hot-headedness, in an attempt to hold the government. So look what it just said. In black people's attempt to hold the government. When were you ever told that the black people had the government? Right after the Civil War. And if the Civil War was to free the slaves and blacks were just freed from being slaves, they couldn't even read. If they couldn't read, how the hell did we have the government? It was always your government. They just stole it. It's going to break it down. Don't worry. Attempting to hold the government. So y'all had the government, this congressional record, that brought out conflicts between the races and caused the shotgun to be used. This is what I meant by saying we used the shotgun. I wanted to call senators' attention to one fact. He said that the Republican Party gave the Negroes the ballot in order to protect themselves against the indignities and wrongs that were attempted to be heaped upon them by an enactment of Black Code. I say it was because the Republicans of that day, led by Thad Stevenson, wanted to put white necks under black heels to get revenge. There is a difference in opinion. You have your opinion about it, and I have mine. And we can never agree. So it goes on to say, I want to ask the senator this proposition in arithmetic. In my state, there is 135,000 Negro voters, or Negroes of voting age, and some 90 or 95 white voters. General Canby set up a carpetbag government there and turned the state over to this majority. Now, I want to ask you, with a free vote and a fair count, how are you going to beat 135,000 Negroes by 95,000? Yeah, y'all outnumber white people. Y'all still outnumber white people today. They're cheating the numbers. They got a whole bunch of foreign people that comes over to America and they list them as white. My wife is one of them. My wife is melanated. She dark skinned, chocolate, swarthy. I'm considered tawny, right? They got her as white. She about 3-4 shades darker than me. They got her listed as white. They do that with every foreign person is listed as white when they come to America. That's the only reason why the white numbers is say, oh, we're the minority. No, you're not. You outnumber them. They're adding all different types of other people to the number. But let me go on. How you going to do it? You had to set us up. You had set us an impossible task. You had handcuffed us and thrown away the key. And you propped up your carpet-bag Negro government with bayonets. Did y'all hear that? What he just described was the army, and all of that was Negro armies. Negro armies. When were y'all told that Negroes had the government and y'all controlled the army and the army worked for y'all? When were y'all told that? I know they didn't tell y'all in the history book, but this is the congressional record. This is history. This is history y'all they don't want you to know. Okay, let's go on. Whenever it was necessary to sustain the government, you held it up by that army. So the Negro army held the government up. So the Civil War was really about white people's army against black people's army. It was a race war. It's still going on because this is y'all's original land, according to these people, the white people in the Senate. Well, let me go on. Mr. President, I have not the facts or the figures here, but I want the country to get a full view of the southern side of the question and the justification for anything we did. We were sorry we had the necessity forced upon us, but we could not help it. And as white men, we are not sorry for it. You're not sorry for taking your government. And we do not propose to apologize for anything we have done in connection with it. We took the government away from them in 1876. They took your government, the Aboriginal, the black people's government, in 1876. They don't never tell you about the Articles of Confederation or the Articles of Association. You know why? That's not the document of their government. That document belonged, or that government was the Republic, and it belonged to black people, Negroes. Negroes. They don't count none of the presidents, which were melanated, black people, Negro presidents before George Washington. And I'm going to prove it to you because George Washington's letter to the Sultan explains how they gave the Sultan a draft of the Constitution. And George apologized to him for changing the government. Right? But George could get away with it because George was melanated. He was melanated. They switched that history around too. They show you a white picture of George Washington when George Washington was melanated, a Negro. But so was Lincoln. They didn't change the history on y'all with pictures. All right. But let me go on. We took the government away from them in 1876. We did take it. If no other senator has come here previous to this time who would acknowledge it, the more is the pity. We have had no fraud in our elections in South Carolina since 1884. There has been no organized Republican Party in the state. See? Y'all don't even know it. The Republicans are melanated people, or supposed to be. And that represents the actual republic. You cannot have a republic government without y'all knowing y'all's rights and knowing who y'all are. Y'all are the republic. There is going to be no republic until y'all learn what I'm teaching and utilize it, enforcing the Republic Constitution. The Republic Constitution is the constitutions of the state. the state's Constitution of New York, the state's Constitution of California, the state's Constitution of Georgia, and everywhere else. That's the Republic Constitution. If y'all don't even talk about the federal Constitution, but if y'all do, y'all only use the federal. Y'all are misguided and wrong. Misguided and wrong. All these government people is in a trust. The trust is called the Constitution, the Republic Constitution. That's their trust indenture. The only way to enforce the trust indenture on them is to know it. You must know it and use it against them. Everything they got you following goes against the actual Constitution, which is null and void. The Constitution says anything that goes against it is null and void. It don't even exist. 14th Amendment never existed. It's null and void. It goes against the Constitution. Let me go on. But there has been no republic. Y'all have not voted ever since this shit happened. Y'all have never voted. Y'all not allowed to vote. I read it last week Wednesday to you out of the 14th Amendment. I'm going to reiterate that shit today with Bill Tillman's record, because Wednesday I'm going to bring up the George Washington letter to prove George said he changed the government as well. But let me go on. See, y'all ain't used to actually using proof and congressional records. You're not used to using their words against them. What they wrote happened. But let me go on. We did not disenfranchise the Negroes until 1895. And by the way, when they did 1920, the crash of 1920, right? They did that to get rid of Negroes' money. Negroes' money was based on gold and silver. Because they didn't have gold and silver, they wanted to bring in this fake system, fiat system, with paper money. It was all to destroy your government and fund theirs so that they could steal the real gold and silver from you. That's the real truth of what happened. Then, Red Summer 1919, look it up, Red Summer 1919. They went to Tulsa. They went every place that the Aboriginal, the Indians were, stole their money, their gold, their silver, their land, and dropped bombs on your cities, even in Detroit. Yeah. The car industry was not theirs. The car industry belonged to the Indians, the Black Indians, the Aboriginal people. They destroyed that industry and took it over and act like it's theirs. It's so much y'all really don't know about your history. But let me go on. Then we had a constitutional convention conveyed, which took the matter up calmly, deliberately, avowedly, with the purpose of disenfranchising as many of them as we could under the 14th and 15th Amendment. They created the 14th and 15th Amendment to stop y'all from voting. Because all you got to do is look up the word disenfranchise. Y'all don't know what the word disenfranchise means. So it would be hidden to you if you don't look up the word. But don't worry, Jonah Bey got you. So I'm looking it up for you. And I'm going to tell you. Disenfranchise. Deprive someone of the right to vote. Deprive someone of a right or privilege. Deprive someone of the rights and privileges of a free inhabitant of a borough, city, or country. So what they saying is they moved y'all from being Moorish subjects into the United States under the 14th Amendment, where you were disenfranchised and everyone else was too. You can't vote. No one else can vote. No one else can be a Moor, which is a title of nobility, or anything else like that. That's how they stole your country. Under democracy. These are facts. Under democracy, right? So, through the 14th Amendment, they not only stole your right to be a Moorish subject, they took you out of your country, El Madrid, El Morocco, right? They also made sure you could never vote again under this system, which is what the 14th Amendment said. But don't worry, I'm going to show you. I'm not done. So they created the 14th and 15th Amendment to get rid of the Negroes' government. It says, we adopted the educational qualification as the only means left to us, and the Negro is content with the prosperous, and as well protected in South Carolina today as any state in the Union of the Potomac. He is not meddling in politics, for he found that the more he meddled in them, the worse off he got. And as to his rights, I will not discuss them now. We of the South have never recognized the right of the Negro to govern white men, and we never will. We have never believed him equal to the white man, and we will not submit to his gratifying his lust on our wives' daughters without lynching him. I would go to God. The last one of them was in Africa, that none of them had ever been brought to our shores. Now, that's where they're lying. He's trying to make it seem like black people came from Africa. Never have. Black people are aboriginal to every continent on the planet. The first people on every continent was melanated people, or aboriginal, or Negroes, black, whatever you want to call us, right? Because every nation on the planet will tell you black people came first. There was no other people on the planet but us before all these other people came about. That's what they don't want y'all to know. Black people own the whole planet. They all supposed to be paying rent to your ass, but you don't even know it. They got y'all through taxes paying rent to them. But now let me go to the 14th Amendment, because they said they put the 14th Amendment in to stop us from voting because we out them, and also so we could never take over the government again, which is our government in our land. So Section 2 of the 14th Amendment is the part that breaks it down. It says representatives shall be appointed amongst the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed. But when the right to vote at any election, right, for the choice of electors for presidents and vice president of the United States, representatives in Congress, the executive and judicial officers of the state, or members of legislators thereof, is denied to any of the male inhabitants of such state. nobody in the States could ever vote because they don't want us taking over. Now, I'm going to show y'all something. Why is it every election, everybody begs black people to vote for them? They don't beg white people to vote for them. They don't beg no one else to vote for them. We vote for them and we get nothing for it. The system ain't made for y'all to come back up off of that, right? But let me show y'all something. See, you're going to have to really know how to read and comprehend. So, you were thrown off when you heard it. It says, excluding Indians, not taxed. So I asked the question, how do you become an elector of the president? They never told y'all how electors are being made, the electoral college. How does that happen? Who gets to decide? How do they become that? It's written right here in the 14th Amendment, but if you don't comprehend, you'll never see it. So let me read it a different way. Nobody that's 21 years of age that lives in the States can vote for presidents, vice president, representatives in Congress, judicial officers of the states, legislators, or nothing. But who's excluded? Excluding Indians. Indians can vote. Not Native Americans. Native Americans can't vote. Indians can vote. Not taxed. They're tricking y'all. The only people that's putting these people into office is black people. Y'all are the Aboriginal people, the true Indians. This is why they beg you for your vote every time it's time to vote. But it's a trick. The trick is only if you are a landowner and you don't pay taxes are you allowed to vote. What have I been doing? Jonah Bey gave you a workshop on regular people don't pay taxes no more because you get my W4T workshop. I teach you the law. You give it to your employer. You don't pay taxes. Now you become an elector. According to the Constitution, I'm showing you the law. I'm breaking down the law to you. See, because I have superior comprehension, I can break it down for you. Right? So, this is why they beg you to vote. This is why Kamala is lying about being melanated. She was Indian all this other term. Now she's, no. Right? It's all up to y'all. It's all up to y'all. And they go by their popular vote of you melanated people. This is why they all beg you. It was a governor called Governor Newsom, Senator Newsom. He got on TV and he said, black people, Negroes are the Aboriginal people of America. Then they made him come back and apologize. But he was telling the truth. He wasn't supposed to let out that truth. You don't have to believe Jonah. It's all out there, right? So with that being said, I dropped enough hotness on you today. I'm going to open up the call lines. Let's take some calls, see what y'all talking about. Stay on subject on what we talking about, right? I'm going to caller 279-789. Peace to Yahuwah. Yes, peace. Let me get some ones out there if y'all like the information I dropped to y'all. On Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, uh, YouTube. Let me get some ones. All right, go ahead, bro. You ain't got nothing to add to it? How could you not have nothing to add to it? You gonna tell me you learned this shit in school? What about you should be fucking mad that they never taught you this shit in school? You should talk about the fact that they made you, if you were my age, every day you had to pledge allegiance to the Republic of the United States of America, right? But they didn't tell you this truth that y'all were the Republicans. How do you not have nothing to say about it? Is my question. How is it that you're not saying, I'm going to teach this to my daughter, my son? I'm going to go home and teach this to my damn mama, my grandma. How do you not have nothing to say? Huh? Now you talking my language, bro. Bro, I told you this is an old lesson. If you was to get my treaty injunction from jonahbey.com, it's all written inside my treaty injunction. So it's already in the paperwork. You late. It's already in the paperwork. I'm about to show y'all, once y'all put in the treaty injunction, I'm about to show y'all how to do the paperwork to get all the money back that you ever paid into Social Security and taxes, because they have to give it back. It never applied to you. Fact. They can't stop me. They try to stop me all the time. I don't let them. I keep it moving. If they wouldn't let me get on Blog Talk, I'd have just got on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. I'd have just did everyone else. And y'all know to go for me in those places if one of these other places shut down. It better be on this subject or I'm not going to answer it, but go ahead. Yes. You have not been going into the common law court. One of the main reasons why y'all don't go into common law courts because y'all don't know how to do an affidavit as a real man and a woman. And every clerk of court is a immigration officer. So when they look at your paper, they know who and what you are. Your actions show who you are. This is why I did the webinar on affidavits to teach you how to do a proper affidavit in the Republic as a man and a woman. And only 53 people got on. Most of y'all don't know. So most of y'all ain't going to get y'all's remedy because y'all ain't doing what it takes to do it. Uh-huh. That is just to get to make you do your jurat at the top in the bottom correctly, right? That will make you a real man and woman. But to actually know how to actually write an affidavit, you don't know how to do. Two different things. Y'all don't know how to write it. You're supposed to write who, what, when, where, how, and why. Y'all affidavits don't do that. It's supposed to start from the beginning, have a middle and an end, and it's supposed to give me a glossary to tell me what it's about to talk about before it talks about it. Just like a book reads. Y'all don't do that. Y'all ain't educated to do that. Y'all got to learn how to do it. That's what that webinar was about. But anyway, peace to Yahoo. All right, I'm going next caller, 408. Bro, Omni Bay 7, stop bugging me. You was in my goddamn Instagram about this. You was in the goddamn going to chat doing. You've been hitting it all damn day. If you want to do your fucking testimony, why don't you call in and fucking say it over the air? Stop bugging me with that shit. You think I give a fuck? You think you're the only one that did what I told you to do and you got remedy? Stop fucking bugging me. You're a bugaboo. Fuck the matter with y'all? All right, I'm going to the next caller. 408-761. Peace to Yahoo. You're going to have to wait until Wednesday. You can ask that question. I'll talk to you again Wednesday, brother. And I do remember giving you that price, and I will make sure I do it for that. Oh, the donate button. All right. Peace to Yahoo. All right. I'm going to 612750. Peace to Yahoo. Yeah, calm your ass down, nigga. Yo, cause I ain't gonna front my nigga. I was gonna read what you wrote on Instagram about it, but now you here. Go ahead, give him that testimony. Yep. Or he at least gotta bring you straight to a magistrate court. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. 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 Exactly. Yep. Hmm. So let me ask you this real quick. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. How does it feel to beat a drug case like that? Yep. Yep. Hmm. Bro, I already told y'all that. Bro, it's a treaty. I keep on telling y'all that's why y'all gotta know how to use it. This is why I say do not travel with no straw man shit when you have that. I keep on telling y'all the daggone paperwork is 100. But the problem is they want to test you, and that's when you got to go in there verbally and say what's in your paperwork. Hmm. It says when a court dismisses an action, they can either do so with prejudice or without prejudice. Dismissal with prejudice means a plaintiff cannot bring it back. So it's gone. It's gone forever. All right. So peace, yo. I like that testimony. Peace to Yahoo. All right. As y'all see, we're a little over, but it's all good. Now it's time for Jonah Bey to get some food in his stomach. So I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I hope y'all getting this history to know who y'all really are as melanated Indians, black people, Negroes, Moors, Negro. All of that is synonymous. They play with those words. Indian, Moors, Negro. With that being said, I'll see y'all again Wednesday, where I'm going to show the letter George Washington did to bring in the United States Constitution and had to apologize for it and how it goes with the 14th Amendment to steal y'all's government. All right. So, with that being said, peace to Yahweh. I'm closing out.